Hello. Welcome back, everyone. I believe, was it previously we were going to the Mothman's kingdom now after having had a nice conversation or two with people? Or 5. Finding out that a few people got married last time.
Indeed.
Yep.
So how's everything feeling? Knowing
Interesting,
that,
to say the least.
knowing that your characters are married to Fae Princess.
Well, I had not seen this coming, but I'm okay. This is good. This is fine. This is good.
Victor's just amused,
Yes.
especially since he's not involved in it.
Yeah, you see, you decided to go study and be a responsible individual, and those two went out drinking with a party god and a vampire. I'm sorry, I don't know what they expected was going to happen.
My middle name is Irresponsible.
To be fair, I had to let my hair down once at some point in my cursed life, and this is what happens.
Yep.
That was a hell of a time to do it.
That's Azzy's thing. Hey, how was it? How was it to have your sins catch up with you? Exhilarating, isn't it?
Feels lively, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if I remember, you guys had gone to rest after the entire ordeal, right?
Yes.
Victor probably got more of a rest than they did.
Yeah.
Probably a bit more.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Wasn't there something else going on at the end of the episode last time?
I don't remember, honestly.
Didn't you guys try to sneak into your wife's chamber?
Mm-hmm.
Did we?
Vaguely remember something about that, but I do not remember what the actions in which were to be had was or anything. I think it was just looking.
Oh, it definitely wouldn't be a sneak. It would be a knock on said door.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you sure? Sneaking sounds so much fun in a Fae court.
Nah. Maybe sneaking to get there, but sneaking while I'm there, nah. I don't want to get my face smashed in with a hammer or split in half by an axe, thank you.
Yeah. No.
Well, it's a good thing she doesn't use either of those.
Yeah.
She just
Or,
uses...
burned alive by a ray of sunlight.
Yeah, she just uses a massively oversized greatsword that just so happens to be like a ray of sun
That one, yeah.
sheds light. There's no problem here. It's not like getting hit by a 5,000 degree knife. Everything is good. Everything is fine. Okay. And you guys also had Mr. Hardman that was going to help you guys. Didn't you guys send him off for something? Yes, you guys.
He was going to go.
Hmm?
He was going to go talk to some people. That's all I remember.
He was going to go get information for you guys. Yes, that's right.
And he would have it in the morning.
Yes, and we have to see how that went. I forgot to roll for that between sessions. Oh my. 'Cause there is a small chance that bad things can happen to this guy. If you haven't noticed, I have absolutely no qualms with destroying my NPCs. They're sometimes in my way. Sometimes it's just a serenade to the story. NPCs are expendable. I can make new ones. So now he's going to be sneaking around with spies about. Yay.
I mean, I will remind you, he is very aware of all the dangers that we are currently, facing.
Yep.
Oops, I forgot to get no onions on this. Gross.
Oh, wow. Despite the odds not being in his favor. Very nice. So, because of how many people he had against him, I had to sit here and roll a 5d10. Their base result was 18. Because they had 2 9s. It treats it like advantage. He had 18 with a straight roll. And technically he's defender in this situation, so he will win.
I'm gonna say, do I need to give him a boon or anything? I doubt it would help.
There's no point. Apparently he kicked around 4 people.
My man.
Now that doesn't mean that he's unharmed or anything. Okay.
And say if you get a max damage roll or something, let me know. I'll do a re-roll for him. I'll spend points.
Oh no, that was just how the encounter was going to go, and basically if it was going to be whoever had higher, and he just barely matched them, so it's like, no. So yeah, he's probably going to be showing up roughed up, but yeah. So in the morning, which technically the only one that's there is going to be Victor. Victor, you wake up to your nice little crow guard friend coming in, and he looks like he's seen better mornings. He looks like he's kind of gotten into a few fights, and he's got some gouges, and his face looks very bruised, but looks like he managed.
Oh, dude, what happened to you?
Well, believe it or not, I found out there was 4 spies. I think that's all there were.
You look that rough. How do they look?
We won't talk about that.
Gotcha.
I had to ask for some favors.
Oh.
Where are your friends?
They stepped out. Would he know where about the princess, or?
About the princess, yes, but I don't know. Well, you mean the guard?
Our friend, would he know about everything, or was he gone before she showed up?
I believe he was gone before she showed up, and before the sudden reveal of, "Hi, I'm married to you guys." Wait, what? So he doesn't know anything about them being married to her, but does kind of know
It's
she's there
possible.
because guard.
Yeah. He's gonna be like, Calder and Stella stepped out, so they were gonna be walking around on this floor for a little bit.
Well, the information I got is there are several families that are not too happy with everything that's been going on there. They seem most perturbed with the brother that's trying to do all this right now. Seems Julian is really... He hasn't really kept up deals that were meant to be kept. Since technically it's not deals he made, he feels he doesn't have to abide by them. So there are a few families in the court that are understandably upset and feeling like they have been crossed in a few ways. There are also a couple of families that were in the court or in other courts that he seems to have aligned with and got into his court. He seems to be stealing members of courts. Most of the people that seem to be willing to join his cause, however, seem to be the most untrustworthy, power-hungry, ambitious individuals. Seems to be going for a full coup.
Alright, so what would we have to do to convince one of the, like, one or two of these families to help us in our task?
Some of them might do it just for the fun. Some of them, it seems, might do it for a grudge, and others you might have to sit here and reassure them that Florence isn't going to be just like his brother. Being Florence hasn't ever ruled, they don't know how the other brother will do instead.
I'm assuming Florence was the one that was kind of groomed to inherit leadership.
They both were in case anything happened, it seems. But Florence was chosen because he seemed to be more... He seemed more about the people and about the court and the cause, instead of about constantly accruing power and asserting himself as being in charge.
Okay.
Now I can get you to the border between, but I will have to say I have to leave to do my business and my job. If I'm there with you, technically, I should be stopping certain business from happening here and there. Or I might have to technically report it back to the courts for any deals. So it's safer for me to not come along for your guys' sake. It means that I don't have to obscure my own motions for you guys and my own job, as it might then lead to major penalties on my half. If I'm not there and can't witness anything, it's not my job to sit here and put it in. I'm there to technically sit here and see why Julian took over and why he's invading the material plane. So, any deals or whatnot that go on is of no problem to me.
Okay.
In other words, if I didn't see it or hear it, it didn't happen.
Makes sense to me.
Yes, I believe it's similar to how some... What are the people that you guys call them? Cops would be in your world?
The police force.
Yeah. How they're charged to uphold the law and to turn in such things. It's the same thing for technically us, including if we witness a deal struck, we have to technically tell the court of the Raven Queen.
Right.
But again, what I don't see and don't hear, I can't report to anyone, which means spies can't accidentally get it, and means it's safer for you guys.
Makes sense.
I will say from some whispers amongst the guards, there has been a call in your world that was sent out. They're calling for a very old order of druids. We don't know who's calling, but we have a feeling it has something to do with the war that is going on your side and whatever you guys are fighting for. My captain kept most of that secret to me, so I'm presuming it's of sensitive natures.
Oh, man. There's 2 different wars with 3 different entities in it, all centered around my little hometown. He just kind of sighs.
This sounds like a pain. And most of you mortals live a lot shorter lives than we do.
Yeah, there are strange cases, though.
Yes. And even though you guys are cousins to us, the Alpha and the Fae are still worlds apart.
Mm-hmm. So, what can you tell me about a Lady Mordred?
Mordred. Ah. Morgana of the Summer Court's daughter, if I remember. Why? What's your interest in her?
It seems that our friends know her.
Know her?
Mm-hmm.
How do they know her?
A drunken night with a demigod.
Demigod?
Mm-hmm.
Wait. Are they the ruffians that were causing all that trouble a while back with Zini?
And he just kind of face palms.
I'm going to pretend I did not find that out.
Well, if you want an opportunity to scare 2 of them, you'll probably find them with her.
The paperwork I'm going to have when I get back here.
You didn't necessarily see it.
know, and you didn't necessarily admit to it.
I'm just reporting hearsay, sir.
Okay. I guess we should go over to Lady Mordred's chambers and see if they are... How do they know her? Besides drinking? Why are they in her room?
Why would anybody invite other people back to their room?
You just see him pause there for a second, thinking. I think I'm gonna need a drink before we leave.
He looks over and sees that there's a bottle on the table, and he just hands it over to him.
I got us into this mess so you can get us out.
He's just gonna take a few sips and then just put the cork back in and just look at you and go, okay. So, I almost got killed by 4 spies. I've gotten information for you guys. I found out that there's problems that I don't even want to deal with because this is above my pay grade.
Victor's just kind of shaking his head a little bit. Sounds like you need a vacation after all of this.
This was my vacation.
Sounds like you need another.
I'm on vacation from the military.
No.
This was supposed to be a lighter duty for me.
He makes sure he puts his sword back on somewhere he can have easy access to it if needed. Well, shall we?
Yes, we'll go over to Lady Mordred's room. So, before they arrive, I need to know, did you guys try to sneak into the room, or did you try to go in through the guards?
I was just going to knock at the front door for the room.
Okay, so you're going in through the guards, gotcha.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to sneak. Okay. I know better than that. Guards catch wind of that, and I'll have a freaking knife in my back instantly.
So, I need to roll for the 2 guards. See where allegiances lie the most.
Because in this case, the description there is I'm going to knock on the door and say, "Hey, can I talk to her privately for a moment?" Or however I need to get that point across.
They would knock on the door for you and let you in and everything. Because I think you guys were just going to spend the night there, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was the idea.
Yeah, so Lady Mordred would answer the door and go, what can I help you with, loves? Don't you have a mission to be preparing for?
Yeah. Can we both talk to you privately for a moment?
Sure. And she lets you guys in and walks with you guys towards a table.
We, as soon as the door is closed, for the most part, we wanted to spend some extra time with you while you were here. Rather than just shooing you off to your room, we figured it might be more fun to join you.
She just kind of looks at you two, seeming to try to read the room a bit, and is like, join me in which way?
I wanted to spend time with you rather than leaving you alone tonight.
So. You guys seemed shocked to have seen me, and didn't seem to fully remember me. I'm not entirely naive, as people take me to be. Is there something wrong?
I'm going to answer that very directly. Initially, possibly, but at this point, no. The only thing that is wrong is the complexity of how that works, and you were feeling that too with your mother.
So you're trying to gently kind of brush it.
I know she's not an idiot. No, and he's not brushing it off. He's just saying, like, it was an issue initially, but he also doesn't want to say, like, oh, that was a mistake to start out with, because he doesn't want to make her feel that way.
Yeah, or they don't fully remember in that.
Yeah, he's not trying to brush it off. He's just trying to be gentle with it and...
Yeah.
Personally, I've never been one to take a commitment lightly.
Yes, marriages, I forget, are commitments in your guys' world. So, duties and titles. Usually it comes with jobs and duties and roles. It's kind of the fun thing about marrying a mortal, is technically there's no additional roles or duties.
It's only what you make it.
Yes, but nothing legally binding in the fake courts. It's always so much extra paperwork. I've seen it with my siblings, but it's kind of liberating.
Yeah, it is, well, I suppose it doesn't have the same feeling as it does to you. For us, it has roles, but I have a feeling that they are not a severe, or what's the word I'm looking for, as important or needed role as you would have here.
And that's the thing, it's so relaxed compared to ours.
Yeah.
I've been reading up on the material realm and a lot of your guys' things. It's neat. And it's alright.
Yeah, usually it's, I mean, ours is usually protecting our partner and things like taking care of them if they're sick or otherwise. And that's, yeah, otherwise it's to each their own. Those aren't exactly promises, those are just intents.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Well, as for that, I don't come here expecting anything specific. I just wanted to spend time with you and like not have you feel like you came to visited me for like an hour or two and then had to go back to your own place and I wandered off.
Well, I also know that you guys are here on serious business, so...
Why not spend some time with you even though we have serious business? I have a need for rest and there's no reason I can't spend that time with you as well.
Ah, yes, true. Mortals need rest. Usually more often than some.
We were with a demigod for a handful of weeks, from what I understand.
Yes, I still don't know everything that happened. Still should probably piece that together, see what all you've done. I've heard about your escapades in the mortal realm, but not your escapades with this Zini. Mother says I shouldn't talk to him or deal with him in any way.
He's very fun. I assume we do remember a good chunk of some things, but maybe not some important bits.
Yeah, there's a... When you guys think back, this isn't just the only chunk that seems to be entirely missing. There seems to be, like, major chunks of time that now that you think about it, you can't remember what you guys did.
Yep.
Like, out of, like, 2, maybe 3 weeks, you guys maybe remember 3 or 4 days.
Yeah. But I'm sure we can give some party notes and cliff notes to some things and some blinks of jokes and whatnot.
Okay. In the morning, Victor and your guard friend is going to be approaching Mordred's room while you guys are... Are you guys sleeping, or did you guys wake up early, or...
I would honestly just be sleeping for a good chunk of it, because I have a feeling we probably stayed up later talking. I'm not assuming anything else happened, but talking is probably very, very likely we spent some extra time there.
Mm-hmm.
Still is probably stirring a little bit earlier, but not quite up yet.
And Victor, as you guys are approaching the guards, is there anything that you wish to say to either your guide or the guards?
You said that was to Victor?
Yeah.
Dude. As they kind of approach, like, he doesn't really know what to say. It's like, he's gonna let their friend handle it.
Okay. They do seem to converse a little bit in a dialect of the Fae, and it seems like they're like all three of them are trying to use a more formal version of it, as if they might speak different dialects. And they knock on the door and seem to call in Fae. Stella, you do notice that Mordred begins to stir, and she wakes up. And with the sun coming in the window, you see that it seems to be almost causing her to glow.
Oh no, roll wisdom save or become smitten.
You already failed, homie.
No, I mean
I failed the second I saw her, yep.
I mean, she's actually glowing. I mean, it's actually like a reaction to the sun on her skin.
Oh, he's glowing.
Well, yes, I'm from the court of the sun. Guards say your friend is here?
Oh.
With a guard?
Victor, probably.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, they can come in, and the doors slowly open. And Victor, you see the three of them kind of laying in a bed.
He steps in and just kind of nods.
Now, this is the first time that you're going to see this, but there is a massive great sword that looks like it's fashioned to be like a ray of the sun against the wall on the other side of the room.
He clocks that sword and he's just like, whoa. That is a hefty looking blade.
It's pretty light once you get used to it.
I don't think I'd ever be used to that weight. That thing looks well beyond me. Does it have a name?
Depends on who wields it. It tends to just go by whatever nickname you give it. It's not really fully sentient. But it's sort of the power of the rays of the sun.
Anyways, what's up, Victor?
We have some information on houses that may be able to assist us on our mission.
Good.
And it's really about that. That's really about it.
And about 4 less spies clocking us.
Yeah, I figured that would be an issue. Thank you.
Wasn't without difficulty, but it's...
He drank about a quarter of that bottle of alcohol you left on the table when you came over here.
Well, it's his now if he wants it.
It's just been a very rough night, and then potential revelations. Let's just get you
Victor.
to the court of the moon's land, and I can go about my business, you can go about yours, and hopefully there'll be no more trouble for me.
I believe I got a healing ray. I'm gonna help him out with that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did you get a healing ray? I'm trying to remember.
I believe I bought one, and unfortunately it has no stats on it, so I have no
Okay.
idea what to roll.
Yeah, you don't.
I
don't
meant to
roll-
actually pull that from the book, but I forgot to.
Yeah, you don't roll. It's technically a set amount. The only people that would roll is technically if it's a hostile creature that positive energy would damage, it would technically mean they get to do a saving throw.
Yeah.
I believe it was T2? T2?
I think so.
Where is it?
I also just need to know the mana cost.
Yeah, that's
Mana
what
cost
I was
and-
looking for. Oh, I know I did wrong here. Okay. Because I accidentally typed it up when I was typing it up, and I don't have it fully in there as a different ability. Okay. So that's technically a T1. Okay. So that's going to cost you 3 mana per cast. It was going to be 3 plus either Restoration or Phosphomancy. Plus you're going to use your magic, so it's 8 plus... Okay. 9 total. Okay. Yeah, one healing ray sort of heals him up a little. It seems these wounds were pretty bad, actually. Guy looks a lot sturdier now that you're looking at him and seeing how much your healing had done to him than what you would think he would be.
Okay, I'll say 3 casts of it do very much.
It heals a good chunk of it. He's got some bruises still in that, but like the gouges and everything seem to be mostly patched up. So he looks like he could do okay.
Yeah. I'll give him a pat on the side, basically, where he's not bruised. Hopefully that helps. I'm not the best healer in the bunch, but...
I appreciate it. It's better than still feeling the blood slowly leak out of my body.
Yeah, I'd assume that.
Yes. Okay. So, any other things that you require to do in the city before we head out?
Nothing particular.
Okay.
I assume that we probably should go and talk about things possibly privately. So he looks back over towards his towards the princess and goes, "Unless you want to, hear what's going on exactly, but I have a feeling the less you know, the less paperwork you have to worry about, right?"
Oh, me? I don't have paperwork. People do paperwork for me.
Fair enough.
It's just a matter of the less I know, the less I have to technically tell Mother if anything's really majorly going on.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Might be a better idea to just not know anything.
Yes. Plus, then if my mother knows, then there's a potential that she might try to seize things, and I just...
Exactly.
Not worth the trouble.
No, it's not, because I was just going to have the summer and the winter court fighting each other again, and I'm just tired of it.
You too. Because I would rather not have to argue between the two. And I haven't even really been here for that long.
I mean, not to say I couldn't kill most of the Winter Court's people, it's just... It's... not as fun.
No, I'd assume not, and I would assume having more of a friendly acquaintance would be better.
Yes, plus then we can do so many more fun things, including possibly some nice little adventures into the material plane that don't require, sending endless hordes of people.
Yeah.
I don't know, like...
Or having some agreed upon things that, you can have, possibly... what's the word I'm looking for? Like an embassy, almost.
Yes. I know one of my cousins that gets in trouble a lot actually left the material plane. Tends to hang around Zini's club, from what I found out.
From what I understand, that one's kind of a neutral ground. I wouldn't pose to do anything to Zani's area.
Oh, I wouldn't. It'd be quite interesting to see how things work over there. I hear these clubs are interesting, and what is it? Hoppin'?
Maybe you can go on a bender with us sometime. The last one was a blast.
I don't think that would be a safe idea.
Yeah, maybe not that much.
He bumps into Stella playfully.
Victor just kind of shakes his head, smiling because he's thinking of his mentor. But still just like, this is a bad idea, guys. But he's not saying it. Like, let them get into their own trouble.
Well, you guys do have fun on your little trip into the Feywild again. And your friend Victor, was it?
Yes, ma'am.
Don't get into too much trouble and keep these two out of as much trouble as you can.
I don't have to worry about Stella. We have to worry about him.
He just
Oh,
grins ear to
God.
ear.
See?
Yeah.
That just tells you all of it.
I didn't say anything. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, he reminds me of this cat Fey I've met once. Likes turning invisible, always with a sheepish grin from ear to ear.
There's other names for that kind of grin from where I'm from. But, yeah. It was a pleasure making your acquaintance.
It's a pleasure making yours as well. So you all leave?
Yep.
Yep.
I am going to ask our guard friend when we kind of get somewhere a bit more private how we may be able to find one or two of those dissenting families.
Well, presuming that the other two didn't grab their stuff before and take it to her room, I'm presuming you guys are going back to gather up the rest of the stuff for the team. And
I mean, I don't really actually have anything specific that I would need to go back for if Katerina came with me in card form. I mean, she'd probably be allowed to go as well. I just assume that a vampire wandering around the Feywild in the actual, courts without any knowledge that she was there initially probably wouldn't be the best idea. So her being in rooms probably would be better, but...
yeah, I think the only one that would have to get stuff is probably Stella, because I don't think she'd be walking around with a gun.
Not openly.
Yeah. Doesn't look too good when you're trying to go into a royal member's room with a gun. Who are you? I'm a friend. You have a gun. I have a gun.
Say hello to my little friend.
You'll never take me alive, coppers. But yes. Okay. So you guys would go back for at least Stella's gear, and you guys are asking your friend what again?
How we would be able to find like one or two of the dissenting families.
He kind of just looks at you guys and goes, well, usually you'd want to get to their manors in that place. Some of them have manors, some of them are less manners and more layers. Not all Fae are entirely civilized that are powerful enough to be lords and ladies.
You also, you have the issue of we might find one who sees a potential to betray us or otherwise at the exact same time we do something like that. So, you're playing with dice doing that. Although, you're also playing with dice going in there without any allies on your side.
Yes. As I told your friend Victor, though, I've heard that some signals, some messages have been sent to a ancient druidic order. And they seem to be trying to call them back. I don't know who or what's calling them back and asking for help, but it seems like they're calling for something important or something strong.
That sounds like the Earth cult.
Yeah, something like that.
Could be the
Is
Earth
that from
cult,
the...
but as far as I can tell, it's not in an elemental tongue that the call is being made.
It's question, is that information that we can go along with, or is that stuff we should go back to the material plane to follow up on?
I'm relaying the information because I do not know if it may come to help us on our adventure or if it may help you when you get back to know this. I know you have a lot going on. For 4 spies to try to kill me, there's some issues there.
Yeah.
Means
Couple.
this information is very important.
Yeah. Well,
Where did you get that information from specifically, by the way? Is it someone we can talk to garner more? Or is this just a situation that we need to... Like, I'm trying to figure out how this impacts us. We might know about the call, but we still need to go and try to take care of the court stuff.
their commander.
Yes.
Who's commander?
He hinted at it before we came to find you.
Yes, so where he got it from, I do not know.
Would you think it'd be beneficial for us to go talk to the commander?
If you want, now that I think about it, he's probably on edge and probably questioning people. If I had to fight off 4 spies because of this information, I do not know how many spies he's had to fight off. He tends not to be gentle when he's persuading people to give up information.
I do know we are still waiting on the Raven Queen's information from after her persuading of our of us bringing the creature back, the doppelganger.
I don't know when that information will be available. We can try to go ask her or one of her attendants, but if it's not being given to you right now, it's maybe that she is trying to suss out if there's any truth in it all.
Yeah, Victor's got his hand in his coat pocket and he pulls out his little stone he's been carrying with him. And he just kind of starts rotating it around in his palm.
So we can go ask the Raven Queen if you desire, or we can try to head out and see if we can get there before any message gets there that there's a group of intrepid explorers from the material plane looking to cause cessation of Julian's reign.
I have a feeling that's already getting back.
Part of me feels like we need to go.
Yeah. That might be the best.
And normally I'm all for getting as much information as we can. But
My thing is, I don't know how well we will fare against a court of even my court that's against us. We might have the rights to be there and the rights to challenge, but I don't know if we are going to have problems of being attacked. What would you guess if you were in this situation and you don't want to do paperwork and don't want to hear any more about it? I'm sure, but if you ended up going and talking to people, do you presume that they would try to attack us, or do you think they might leave us alone and try to handle things politically?
Each one of them is probably going to be looking for the biggest way to benefit off of you and everything going on.
My goal is to make as few deals as possible.
Sometimes you don't have to worry about deals. How to explain this? Even in your world, there are people who strive to obtain goals using people at any cost. A deal isn't the only way that some of these beings will try to take advantage of you.
Fair.
Even my captain or the Raven Queen's son might have some sort of motive.
I don't doubt it. As long as the motives line up, that's what matters to me. And I know he's talked to me about some things before as well. He wanted to possibly make, like, a friendship or, otherwise. Let's not get into that, because the more you know, the worse it gets us for you. So let's leave that alone.
Potentially, he also seemed to want me to possibly cheat you a few tricks here and there, but that might have to wait for another time. With spies.
I doubt he wants to mentor for me directly, but I'd appreciate that if he taught me some things.
Yes. As for getting down from the city, though, I have wings. You guys do not, so we will have to get transport down to the surface for you.
And there we discover the first way that Azeroth died on his bender. He tried to jump off something and fly.
no.
I'm making that shit up. I don't actually know.
Enough. I have known you for months now, and that tracks.
All right, let's head out.
So you guys head through the city, and you guys head to kind of these back alleys that go into the sort of floating island. And near the bottom of one of them, with a bunch of weirdly white glowing rocks, you see what looks like almost a sort of bubble. It's more like it's not a bubble out of water or something. It seems more like it might be a slimy secretion, as around the edge of this opening are mushrooms. And the ground itself, where the bubble is, seems to be a large toadstool. He looks at you all and is like, well, it's not every day we have people who don't have keys to the courts and everything on here. when they are, it's usually people from the city below or whatnot. So, simply put, you'll step in there into the bubble, and you'll float down. I hope you don't mind the smell of mushrooms.
Not a fan.
I'll live. I've never minded them before.
It's just a sort of membrane made from the excretion of the mushrooms, and using the magic of the mushrooms in a circle, we've been able to kind of make a... What is it like? I think you guys call them lifts or elevators that you guys made?
Yeah, something like that.
There are so many other names they've gone by, but it's essentially what we've done with these and have had for well over a couple thousand years. I can tell you there usually isn't any accidents. Usually.
It depends on the sobriety of the people getting into them, I'm guessing.
And if something punctures the membrane or not. The last accident there wasn't much of an accident. Somebody shot the bubble with somebody in it down, and they hit the ground pretty hard.
Then let's
That was an
assume and hope that
assassination.
that doesn't happen.
Well, I'll be flying alongside you guys to make sure there's no further attempts on your guys' well-being, especially since there were spies.
I mean, isn't the spies well enough of a hint that things are going on, as is?
Yes, and that's why the couple that I didn't misplace might be getting interrogated.
Understood. Well, that leads more to our part. I'll leave that alone.
Yes.
I'm not going to ask more questions.
Well, I'm ready as I'll ever be.
Okay.
Let's go. We'll enter in as instructed.
Cool. I need endurance checks.
Gross.
Oh no.
Something I'm not great at.
What do you mean?
My endurance is not... Okay, it is higher than some of the other stats, but it's not amazing.
Axe, you're...
Maybe.
The other two have a +3. You have +4. Well, I just...
Yeah, but it's not a +5.
Oh my...
10.
A 10.
Modified 20.
Ah,
13.
13. Okay.
Yeah.
Axe, you walk into this. It kind of just... Yeah, it feels slimy for a second, but it just kind of is no longer a feeling to you. You're fine. The other two, as they're standing there and this bubble is starting to go down, you notice their eyes start to dilate. And you guys start to see some really weird colors. Like the leaves seem to be changing colors on the treetops below.
Oh god.
Light itself seems to be like separating into different strands of colors. And it is just a strange trip as your body feels like it's descending, but like it's stable at the same time as well.
The fuck is going on?
You're fine. Just take a breath, relax. Both of you.
I see new color.
You'll be okay. We were told it's pretty safe for this thing, so just relax. I'm not experiencing anything. Everything feels a little weird and mushroomy, but...
So as you guys reach the ground, the toadstool that it lands on, it looks brown with white spots to you, Asenath. To the other two, it seems almost technicolor. Like, as you lean in closer, it's like... almost like there's so many little grains, almost like colored sand, but it's made of mushroom. And as you brush your hands or anything over it, you see it kind of move and change colors.
Just immediately leap off of it.
He's gonna step out with his eyes closed after they land. Like, he's feeling a little green right now.
As
I
you
don't
guys,
trust that.
Hmm?
I don't trust that.
as you guys walk off, you see a small squirrel walk up to you guys. It's got almost a humanoid face and almost humanoid hands with claws on it, and it holds its hand up and is like, "How was the ride?"
Pretty good.
It was a long, strange trip, man.
Do you look at him?
And he tries not to throw up after he kind of looks down at the squirrel.
His fur looks all you see it's his fur, but it looks like the air around it is kind of charged with something. You know, like when you look at a hot blacktop road and you see that kind of air on top of heat. Almost like that coming from the squirrel as his fur keeps on changing between like 3 different colors: an orange, a red, and kind of a almost maroonish.
I kind of having a bad trip right now.
Bad trip. Oh,
Nobody told me.
you guys aren't used to these things.
No,
Oh,
I'm doing just fine.
you guys are outsiders, aren't you?
Yeah. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Ha.
Becoming more and more of an insider every day.
And Victor just kind of nods.
That means that you guys probably need a little bit of tea to take this effect off you. I wonder how mortals feel and how they experience this.
Well, I've
Feels kind of nice.
The platform we're on seems like it's bathed in all of the colors of the rainbow, and some that haven't been thought of to be put on it yet. You have this weird glowy haze about you that changes color.
Ah. Fascinating.
yeah.
Come on over. I'll get you something to help flush out the mushroom
Okay.
from you guys.
I'd
good.
appreciate it.
It's a good thing none of you are dead. He walks over towards his tree, and he's like, "The name's Max, by the way. Don't mind the wife. She's usually grouchy."
Gotcha. He looks down at himself and goes, "Good to know that I'm not dead."
Oh, don't worry. If you were, I have ways to fix that too.
Well, that's mighty useful.
They used to call me Miracle Max.
Victor, like after they kind of walk past and towards the tree, Victor finds a spot to throw up. We're joining them.
Okay, so you throw up.
Yep.
Roll me an endurance check with advantage.
Alright. 21. Alright, 21.
21.
Yep.
After you throw up, you feel a lot better. Colors are no longer changing. It no longer feels like the world is moving, not exactly spinning, but more like it no longer feels like it's undulating in a sense.
There's more of a sensible pattern to it.
Yeah, it seems almost normal now. Like the whatever it is, the toxins are out of your system or whatever was causing this effect. But your body's coming down from it, and like everything still feels weird on your skin and everything. It feels almost like your brain rebooted in a sense.
That was weird.
So as you
He
guys
just kind of
get to this,
walks up to them.
yeah, as you get to this large tree, the door opens and he walks in. There seems to be a table sized for normal people there, and everything else. And he gets up on the stove and begins pouring a couple cups of tea.
Aznath would definitely take one too.
Yeah. And as you guys drink the tea, it seems to get rid of the weird colors and everything else. And again, it feels like your body's coming down from something. It helps Draven and Axel feel completely normal. But Stella still feels that kind of slowly rebooting kind of feeling, almost like everything's recentering.
Well, all right. Okay,
Whoa.
I'm coming down. I'm coming down.
It'll be okay.
Okay. Okay.
Man, you would think that this was their first time seeing something like this.
Not mine.
Because it was.
I think the cat's broken. It's making weird noises.
PTSD triggered.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So what are you guys doing here?
We were traveling. We're just headed on our way out of the area for now.
Ah,
Yeah.
We're on a business that's just private.
Yeah.
well, I hope your private business goes well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
As you guys go to leave and begin walking, you hear him call out, "Good luck storming the castle or whatever you're gonna do."
Thank you, Max.
Thank you, Max.
The tea was delicious.
And You guys catch up with the guard, who's now looking at you guys going, so, probably should have mentioned that the shrooms can be a little
Yeah.
weird.
I had a feeling already before I even entered. I'm not gonna lie.
I want to try those again.
You're not the only one.
Once is fine.
Where's your sense of adventure, Stella?
It got beat up by anxiety.
Uh-huh.
I won't sell you on it.
So next time, we'll probably remember to make sure you guys have some tea or something beforehand. Kind of counterbalance the effect of the shrooms. Okay.
Or maybe just a parachute.
What's a parachute?
I don't think those were invented yet.
Well, they would be in your guys' plane, technically, but...
Yeah.
In the Feywild, they have no need for it because of magic and wings. You know? So it's like, wait, what's a parachute?
For when you jump out of an airplane that's either on fire or crashing.
What's
They
an
don't
airplane?
know what airplanes
I
are.
don't know what those are either. When you can't fly, right, and you're caught somewhere where you might fall a very long ways and impact the ground with a lot of energy, and it hurts, and it will probably kill you.
Huh.
You wear this backpack with this fabric that shoots out, that just kind of gets blown out of the top, and like you then float down, mostly somewhat slowly, at least at a speed that won't kill you, ideally.
So the fabric shoots out of the bag, and somehow you slow down.
It's like a deployable leaf almost that you're still connected to. Have you ever watched leaves fall from a tree?
It catches the air.
Huh. It's an interesting concept. He just starts rubbing his chin. I wonder. This might be a good business to have up on the top.
Could be.
Instead of letting people go through that, we could sit here and technically use these parachutes.
I think it's best to have options.
He starts slowly walking down a path and is like, you guys are interesting.
Mortals don't have a long lifespan, so they think about ways to improve things quickly.
And they get inspired by things like birds. You have like machines that can flying machines. That's what an airplane is like a machine that flies.
Machines.
Wings. And yeah, machines, mechanical.
He just pauses again and looks at you and is like,
what often
weirdness
occasionally powered by small contained explosions.
He just looks worried at you now. So mortals have machines, or what you're calling them. They're sometimes powered by contained explosions.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
you guys
pretty much.
call us crazy.
I know, weird, right? Like, it sounds crazier than it is. Trust me. It's.
What happens if the explosion's not contained?
Well, then
And you got trouble.
Then you've got an external combustion engine.
We'll have to show you one if you come with us at some point.
He's just looking worried now as he begins slowly walking again.
I mean, that's. I mean, we also use like exploding as like weapons, but yeah.
Exploding as weapons? You mean like throwing an explosive spell at someone?
Yeah, something like that. And holds up the gun. And also, we have these.
I think we're digging a hole that's larger and larger the more we talk.
I think,
Our friend's
yeah.
gonna need the therapy for this.
Either there, he's gonna sit here and revolutionize the military here, because these guys are bringing foreign ideas and advanced technology to a place that's full of magic and that. They haven't needed to advance the technology because the magic has advanced far enough.
I feel like I shouldn't say anything more about. I'm just not gonna say anything else.
Oh, literally, it's like walking in with 1920s technology into the medieval times. There's this big gap of, you do what?
Yep.
Or just
However,
magneto hazards.
Stella just introduced gunpowder to the rock throwers.
No, they have bows in that, thank you, and crossbows.
Huh?
But now you
How
might have
far are we
inspired
from-
him and the Raven Queen to start firearms.
they
They can't
are
get
we
out of
from our
line
portal?
if we shoot them all.
Alright, shall we? Before we dig a hole that's deeper?
Yes.
Oh,
Let's
one of us has already done that. Let's go.
He gives Stella a pat on the head.
Victor just pats her shoulder.
Okay, it seems about a half of the day goes by as you guys are walking, and you guys seem to be getting closer and closer to what looks like a darker part of the Feywild. It seems dark and almost like there's moonlight cascading from the clouds above that seem to be blocking out the sun. Seems almost like it's unnatural how it's there and hanging there.
Is that normal?
We thought it was normal or some sort of new thing they were trying to do, but I presume that probably not. From what you guys brought back about the whole Florence thing and everything else, and what the captain had told me, it seems like this is part of the curse that's keeping Florence out.
Yep. Hey, well, you can see that now. So we just want to double check. I unfortunately have forgotten. Are we headed out to the Moon Court realm, or are we headed over to the commander or captain to check on
Moon
things?
Court.
Yeah, you
Okay.
guys were heading to the Moon Court last I knew.
Just wanted to confirm where we were at.
So as you guys go over this hill and down towards these woods, it seems to get darker and darker. And The pathways along, even if they're covered with trees, seem to have almost like a glow, like the moonlight is filling and penetrating the area, making everything almost slightly illuminated. So it seems like everything's almost in a constant low light kind of setting.
Like, need to worry about vision levels, or
So. It's more or less the fact that there seems to be moonlight everywhere, and shadows even seem to be lighter than they should be. Again, it's less like the moonlight is acting like moonlight and more like it's almost acting like fog. Yeah, like fog or mist kind of like rolling over the land.
yeah, that's definitely a weird situation.
Yeah.
But
This is gonna be.
Yep.
This is gonna be complicated. Do we have a plan of action, by the way? Or should we not talk about this in front of our guard here?
well, I can break off and everything. He does pull out a small set of maps, and he goes, "These will probably help you around out here. Thankfully, I grew up in these woods before all this, so except for anything that might have changed, I'm fairly accustomed to this place."
Yeah. Let's have a small meeting here. I don't think we'll be very long.
Yes, I know there's a small clearing with a lake nearby, and I'm pretty sure that there's activity there. I'm going to start poking around and seeing what information I can get.
Okay.
You see him kind of start moving along the trees.
Be safe.
He doesn't seem to respond. He continues moving through the trees, trying to be as quiet as possible.
Well,
Why are we doing this?
what do you suggest?
So we're going to be going in the middle of the moon court. There's a couple of people who are either on our side or against us that may or may not even be there. We have Florence, who's likely going to be directly against us, and we might have to take down with aggressive force.
Julian.
Julian, sorry, Florence is. Correction, out of character correction. Let's fix that, because that was incorrect. Asimov knows that one. The player, on the other hand, is stupid.
But there's also like the possibilities of our magics might do things here.
This is moon-based. I would suppose that they're either sensitive to moon attacks because of he points upwards towards the moon, or they're sensitive to solar attacks. And I don't have any of those.
I got one.
Yeah, I've got something that'll work. Some cold iron.
If moon and cold iron would work too, I do have some of that. I actually, come to think of it, I have cold iron daggers because I got throwing daggers just for that such occasion.
Mm-hmm.
But cold iron does not work on the greater phase.
Nope.
Including Julian. Shit.
Yeah, so it is likely to not work on Julian properly.
We'll just have to use good old-fashioned lead on him.
Yeah. But that's their general gist. We're also be careful if he tries to talk to you and ask for specific things. I have a feeling we're not done meeting tricks that are going to be posed in our direction.
Yeah.
Things such as, may I have a moment of your time? I'm waiting for one of us to walk into that, honestly.
Victor looks just kind of sheepish.
No, I don't think we have anything else. I just wanted to double check a specific plan. I don't know how many people are going to be there. I don't know what the court looks like, and to my understanding, it's a minor court, so I don't know how much of a chance we have. Do we want a retreat plan, potentially?
I think it's probably a good idea to have an escape route.
Yeah. Being here this far in feels like we're committed.
Well,
And-
also, we are there to retrieve the court and upheave that, so speaking about this politically might be in our best interest. Saying they have no right to this claim, and otherwise.
Yeah. But I have a feeling that even though our friend has gone his own way, I still feel like the Raven Queen has some way to watch us to see what we're doing.
And we're trying to handle this situation before she needs to dip a finger in it. I'm going to AFK from the computer for 2 seconds. I'll be able to hear everyone.
So it may be a situation where there are eyes that report to her, and she may be able to nudge other pieces into the field to help us without officially getting involved. It's layer on layer of just woven connections and favors and...
Yes. That is the thing, though. However much Florence might have asked for a potential favor, I'm hoping to avoid a major favor to the Raven Queen for my lord. Or does he technically no longer rank higher than me?
Technically, he would still rank higher than you, so technically what would happen is technically you sort of bumped a minor court by accident up a little bit.
Yeah. Technically, I outrank him in the, Court of the Sun, and he outranks me in the Court of the Moon.
Yeah. Because he's technically not even part of the Court of the Sun.
Yep.
Yeah. Technically, he's a foreign dignitary at that point, and that becomes...
He just made a very lucky choice in the person that he wanted in.
Actually, that was because of a deal with your ancestors, so it's just ironic that technically Mordred was...
Yep. He just got real lucky.
Yeah.
Well, what do we do here? I'll follow your lead. This is your court.
Well, you're a part of it, too.
Not yet.
You're just as part of it as I am currently. We're both sent here, and we both have seats. and we're both given the directive to basically get it back, either politically or otherwise. You've just as much stake here as I do. I just have the seat already on retainer and have the proper right to it. We just have to get Florence back in to actually give you your seat.
Mm-hmm. But you seem to have a better grasp of this.
I've been in situations that bite me in the ass a number of times. So someone suddenly coming at me with a accusation or a political movement is oddly something I'm more familiar with than it seems.
I mean,
That
you saw how that
family drama.
member of the Beetle Court started to trip me up.
You must be careful, and at best, being silent might be in your benefit.
Mm-hmm.
You can just say, I invoke a right to remain silent in this situation.
Yeah. So, do we go forward?
You
we
can
look at
do
the
all
map?
of your dealings through text. I don't see a reason why there would be a problem.
And so, I think we should look at the maps.
Yes. Maps. We'll pull those out.
You guys look over the maps, and it seems to have several notes on there from your friend. It seems to be notating where a couple of the manors seem to be, where the castle seems to be, or the hold, and a few layers. It also seems to circle what looks to be a lake, not too far off from where you guys are. And I need you guys to roll a perception check.
I think I might already know. That's going to be the same lake that's the opposite to ours in the material plane, isn't it?
Just
Yeah.
off my property.
Yeah, but I still need a perception check.
Hey! Well, there goes one of my dice.
Use Hunter's Gaze. Which is probably good because that was a horrible
Damn.
roll.
Okay.
It's gonna be 10.
Mhm.
That's a miserable roll.
Oh boy. Well, let's see here. That will be a +3, right? I'm trying to find it.
16.
I'm gonna use a reroll on that one.
Okay. And it's a wisdom-based skill, so actually it's a +5, and I don't think you have anything else in it, Victor.
Yay! Alright, so 15.
14.
Two of you hear it. Azonoth and Victor hear what sounds like two large creatures fighting. One of them sounds almost familiar to that strange amalgamation creature you guys faced. And the other one sounds strangely humanoid, but seems to be hissing at points while grunting. They
No.
seem to be fighting right now.
I'm going to go towards that sound immediately. The amalgamation creature being the one that we fought, material plane, the doppelganger fusion.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm following right behind.
Yeah, Victor's gonna follow.
As you guys approach, you hear the combat start to end. And you guys see this amalgamation, and pulling a lumber axe out of it seems to be a 8'10" caiman with overalls on and a plaid shirt, just denim overalls. He looks like just a swamp gator of sorts with a strange rifle with rubber on it. It doesn't seem like an actual gun. And you do notice that there seems to be almost like vines that look like tree limbs with spikes currently all over him. And he looks over at you guys and goes, "You guys aren't from around here, are you?"
Nope. We were just coming to see if we could help.
"This thing attacked me on the other side, then tried to run."
I take it you tracked it all the way through?
"Yes, being that it was a point of interest that a friend of ours might have sat her and pointed me to. You guys wouldn't happen to be a group of people from a sanctum that...
Did Balthazar send you?
No.
You're related. I think we know somebody you are related to.
I don't think so. I'm an only child.
Well. If you're with the Sanctum, who sent you? If you don't mind me asking.
I'm not with the sanctum.
Well, you
The
know
Dark
about
Vipers
us.
called us.
Oh.
Oh, yep.
Well-
Archimedes,
No.
his sister,
Yes.
whose name escapes me at the moment.
Well,
It's currently
welcome.
escaping me as well, so don't worry.
By my position, I give you my protection with my group. Please do come and join us. I'm a part of the Moon Court, and we're doing some things there. Would you like to join us with that? Are you...
It's kind of part of what I came through here for. Currently, that war is... It's gonna cause a mess that my druidic order can't quite allow. So I've been sent as extra help. We couldn't expend any of the druids, so they sent me.
Well, that explains a lot. You're here to stop the mess from happening, so... mess would be either the invasion or the Earth Cult, I assume.
A bit of both. The whole factor of the nature ley line getting taken or messed with, that's kind of something we don't want.
Well, we're on the same side.
Yep.
At the moment, we're trying to handle things a little bit on the political side over here and stop the invasion.
So I won't have to use my axe too much.
Hopefully not.
It's good news.
He comes forward and offers a fist bump to him. Don't shake hands out here, but it's nice to see you. And this has no other intent. Besides a greeting.
He kind of fist bumps you back, and with how large he is, even his fists seem larger than yours. He looks like the kind of
Victor-
guy that could literally just grab normal-sized people and just toss them.
Victor steps up and fist bumps him as well.
He fist bumps you back.
It's nice to be working with you for a while.
Yes. Means I don't have to chop down trees and build shelters anymore, but... we'll see what else I gotta do now.
Is there anything on that hybrid creature to loot?
Items wise, no, but this one looks like it has 3 faces, like 3 creatures fused into one.
He looks to Azeroth and Stella. You guys may want to look at this.
I'll go ahead and give it a look.
Yeah.
We need to figure out where our guard is as well, unless he's already over here too.
No, he seemed to have, when he snuck off, he seemed to have not come this way. Or if he
Well, I
did,
mean, he
hasn't
might have heard things and then showed up, so that's what I was figuring.
If he did, he's not making himself known.
Yeah.
Seems to be trying to keep a distance if he is there.
You are. I just want to make sure you know you're being permitted passage here by the Court of the Moon. Just so you're aware if anyone asks you. And be careful. You understand the things of fake creatures, right?
Yep, don't give them anything. Don't make deals. Watch out how they ask for things.
Yep. Technically, I am one at this point, so... but I won't be asking you for anything.
And
I don't think I have quite the power to take someone's moment of time from them, anyways.
Yeah.
careful giving me a name.
Yeah, that too.
We need to get out of here.
Speaking of,
Yeah.
he gestures to his chest. Calder Belmont, pleased to meet you.
Michael
He kind of
Pollan.
gestures a hand. I didn't hear the name.
Michael Pollan.
Pleased to meet you, Michael.
Yeah. Stella.
Victor Coburn.
Coburn.
Yes, sir.
Fascinating. Let's get out of here before more of them get here.
Alright.
So you guys leave, and you guys notice the vines seem to go away, almost like they're fusing into him. And he goes from what looks like a slightly slimmer version of himself to... He seems to have like a beer gut now. Almost like the vines came out of him. So what kind of mess do we have?
A large one. You're here to help, so more or less we have an incursion from the Moon Court, which we have a friend of the Moon Court who is helping us try to resolve said incursion. Has given us right to challenge things, and now we're trying to handle them politically. That's the quickest summary I have.
Can't handle it politically, we cut the head off. Gotcha.
You'll absolutely follow up on it as soon as we either attacked when we enter, or we are able to start talking to someone when we get there.
Well, it's a good thing this is kind of my natural environment. Wet woodlands is easier for me to deal with problems.
Yeah. They're trying to gain access to that ley line on the material world.
If there's any type of actual things like currency that we gain while we're out here, we'll definitely try to share. No job deserves to go unpaid.
Yep.
That's an interesting prospect. I mainly came out here because the order said I needed to.
Yep.
They usually sit here and give us rewards. That's interesting. So,
I don't think we're going to get much of a reward either on our side, but we'll see.
Mhm.
as far as our friend, the Dart Viper, comes, she told me that you guys came from the Sanctum of Stability?
Yep.
Yep.
I wasn't much of one for a lot of the learning in that, but I want to say that seems a little topical.
How so?
Well, I've read a lot of the older readings that my order has, and oddly enough, there is a bunch of orders that seem to have very similar names. Sanctum of Stability, Knights of Order, Knights of Balance, Knights of Neutrality. They all seem to have this whole concept of keeping everything in check.
Yeah, that seems like the Sanctum of Stability to me.
Which is interesting.
The Sanctum seems to be super, super old, though.
So it is what the eldest thought it is.
Most likely, yeah.
Yep.
I'll have to tell Paulo about that when I get back. Interesting enough, Paulo used to be one of those orders.
Hmm.
After he got banished from the elemental plane of Earth, he took up residence with them and started working to keep everything in check. You ever seen a ancient Earth elemental sit here and change shapes? It's fascinating.
No, I can't say I have.
They're great creatures, very interesting to watch. Almost as fascinating as some wildlife.
I am gonna kind of gently wander away to go make sure we can find the guard here, just to make sure he doesn't get lost too, because we can get separated.
Well, he said that was his purpose, was to...
Yeah, he's going his own way.
Yeah,
If he's leaving, he's leaving. Never mind then.
he has an investigation he's got to work on.
I didn't know if he was taking us all the way there or not. I'm sorry, I
No,
missed
he
that
was
part.
leading you to that land so that you guys can go there, and he gave you guys the maps. He's doing some investigations because he's got to file the paperwork on this entire incident. But if he's there during any dealings or anything that you guys do, it means that he's got to possibly intercede, where he's got to sit here and relay information back. So it's best for him, for plausible deniability, to not be there.
Yep.
Right.
'Cause
Nothing that he sees, like what he can't see, didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And thusly, it means that it can't possibly be leaked back to the enemy. So by keeping himself busy with things like where the enemy units are and everything else, it starts becoming one of those... It helps the Raven Queen keep track of how bad this escalation is, but it also means that it keeps you guys blind to enemy spies.
Yep. So, how much more do you want to know about the situation? Because we were headed straight over there at the current moment. Probably the worst time for you to show up, but as said, it's simple when you look at it in the sense that we're either waiting for someone to attack us or we're waiting to make political moves, and you can kind of sit and listen if you want.
He continues kind of walking along with you guys and go, I kind of feel like it's best to sit here and come along with. She did seem to think that you guys didn't have a lot of heavy muscle in the group.
I was inviting you along with us because I have a feeling you just going back to the safe place that I know of here, or trying to pass back over, might be a little bit difficult.
Wouldn't
So
be as difficult, but I might find a little bit too many more of those things.
Yeah, let's make the assumption that's probably best to stick around with us, because they are unfortunately also a hive mind, so they share information with each other.
There are a lot.
So yeah, actually, come to think of it, getting out of this area might be a good idea.
Yeah, he continues
Yeah.
kind of walking with you guys. Is there a particular direction you guys are walking towards?
I don't. Well, we should probably check the map to see what's the best way to approach the court of the moon.
Okay, so you guys are gonna go straight for the court.
That's why I was checking the map. If there's a better way of avoiding possible armies or something.
Right.
And
I think-
I'm not sure if we want to go for the front door.
I think maybe veering towards one of the lairs or manors. Not to directly go to them, but to maybe go towards them in the general direction of the court might be a good idea.
I'd be down for that.
Yeah, you can see where there seems to be some roads kind of drawn on the map, and one of the layers isn't too far away from the road. It does seem like all the roads, however, seem to go around this layer and avoid it. The notes on it, however, seem to call it the Grove.
Yes, as we travel and approach, Stella is going to be taking notes of the terrain and for different points of fire and areas of hard cover.
I don't think we should approach that specific grove, in all complete honesty. If all the paths go around it, then unless you two want to go towards it specifically,
What does Michael think? He's familiar with kind of the wetlands and such. I think that this is a good direction to be heading, but that grove is probably going to have eyes on it.
depending. Could be intentional that they're avoiding that area because there's something strong there.
From the looks of the wooding and everything, heading that direction, it looks like it's probably a nature spirit. So they probably avoid it because they probably don't want to sit here and stir it. Even on this plane, there's probably spirits from the elemental planes, and just like there's fey spirits on just about any other plane. There's no real thing saying that extraplanar beings can't just be on other planes, especially if they come through properly.
Right.
So, if it's something that's upset with this court's lord or whatever it is, then perhaps it would be a safe bastion on the way to. A good place to be able to fall back to and recover strength. I think we should probably pause right here for a bio break.
That's a good idea.
Sounds good.
Yep.
Okay, so we'll be right back in a few moments after a quick bio break.
Works for me.
See you guys soon.